We are starting the next chapter number 10. It is special purpose books. The first category we are discussing. Okay, so first we'll discuss what is special purpose books. It can be also called as subdivision of journal. What is journal? Transactions are entered or recorded for the first time in a book called journal. It is also known as book of original entry or book of prime entry. So all these you have learned the meaning of journal. So we know that when a transaction take place, like purchased goods, sold goods, whatever it is, it will be first entered in the journal. But for a business, for a firm, there will be lot of transactions. We can't restrict it to 10 or 20 like we do in a question. It is just an example. We are just practicing. But in actual situation, they would be dealing with so many transactions, and it is difficult to record all these transactions in one book called journal. So, for easier, that means for the convenience of the firm or for maintaining these books easily, what we can do is all these transactions we can separate and we can maintain different books for these transactions based on their nature. It's not the accounts I'm talking about, the journal book is which I'm talking about. Understood? The transaction we can separate. So, how to prepare these different type of books, that will be discussed in this special purpose books, or it is also known as special journal. I'll write here. This is also known as special journal, special purpose books, special journal, or subdivision of journal. Special journal, subdivision of journal, or it is special purpose books, that is the name of the chapter. So all these names you can write. So one such book is, the topic which we are going to discuss today is, first type of special purpose book is cash book. Again for cash book we have single column and double column. We'll discuss that later. Okay, for the time being you learn this. First special purpose book is cash book. So that is the subdivision of journal. We have 6 subdivisions, or we have 6 special purpose books. And the first one is cash book. That means all cash transactions like receipts and payments of cash will be recorded in this cash book. Till now what we did is, every transaction, that means whether it is cash or credit, all transaction we were recording in journal. But now onwards, when it is special purpose books, what you can do is, if it is cash transaction, you can directly record it in cash book. If it is credit, you should not record it here. Understood? So that is how we are maintaining these special purpose books, or basically these are subdivision of journal. So all these special books can be also called as books of original entry, because these are all subdivisions of journal. Then the next special purpose book is purchases book, which will be recording what type of transaction? The purchased items, but you must write something else. It is to record the credit purchase of goods, because cash purchase will go to the cash book. Understood? Cash purchase will be recorded in cash book. So credit purchases you have to record in purchases book. Then next special purpose book is, these are not ledger accounts, basically these are journal itself, but the classification or subdivision of journal you can see. Sales book for recording credit sales. So what about cash sales? Cash sales will go to cash book. Then fourth one is purchases return book. Purchases return book is to record the goods which we purchased, and now if we are returning it, that will be recorded in purchases return. Then there is one more point. It should be something which you purchased on credit. Understood? You would have first purchased it on credit. On a later date, you are returning these goods to the seller. You means the firm always. Okay? And these type of transactions will be recorded in purchases return. That means credit purchases return will be recorded in purchases return. Cash purchases return will go to cash book. Then next is sales return book. That is to record credit sales return. Meaning is, suppose today we sold some goods on credit basis, and after 1 month the customer is returning to us these goods. So that will be recorded in sales return book. You would have sold on credit basis first, later they are returning these. That's recorded in sales return, or this is also known as return inwards. Goods are coming back into the business, so it is return inwards also you can say, returns inward book. Then the sixth one is the journal itself. The journal which we learnt already. It can be referred as journal proper also. P-R-O-P-E-R. Journal proper. That means the basic journal. So the transactions which can't be recorded in any of these books will be recorded in journal. This is what actually taking place. Understood? All transactions will not be recorded in journal actually, based on the nature of the transactions. If it is cash, it will be recorded in cash book. If it is credit purchases, it is to be recorded in purchases book. Then credit sales in sales book. Then credit purchases return in purchases return. Then credit sales return in sales return. Finally, if there is a transaction which can't be recorded in any of these books, that transaction will come to journal. So this is the actual situation. Example for transactions recorded in journal: discount, allowed entries. You remember we studied trade discount, cash discount and all. So these discount allowed entries or discount received entries, or cancellation of discount allowed or discount received. These type of transactions will be recorded in the basic journal or journal proper. Rest everything will go to the books that we discussed. Okay. Now the format of these special purpose books, journal format you know. Then the other books, the cash book and all, how to draw the format is just similar to the ledger account. So we can say that you give the heading once again, cash book. We'll discuss now. We'll see the preparation of cash book. That's the first special purpose book. Cash book is a subsidiary book of journal. It can be also called as subsidiary books. I forgot to tell that name. It is also known as subsidiary books. Not only cash book, all special purpose books can be referred as subsidiary books also. Okay, so cash book is a subsidiary book or subdivision of journal. So it is also known as a book of original entry, in which cash and bank transactions will be recorded in a chronological order. So cash book will include all cash and bank transactions. That means receipts and payments of cash will be recorded in cash book. That is the first subsidiary book. And the format of a cash book is very much similar to a journal. So we can say that Cash book performs the function of both journal and ledger. Why we are saying like this? How cash book is performing the function of these two books? It is a subsidiary book of journal, so it performs the function of journal. But when you do cash book, you need not write journal entries. The preparation is similar to ledger. The format is just like ledger. We'll be directly posting the entries. I mean reading the transactions. No need to write any journal entry. Read the transaction. Directly you must do the posting in ledger. So the preparation of cash book is just like ledger accounts. Directly you must post it into ledger. But that is a subsidiary book of journal. So in that way, cash book performs the function of both journal and ledger. So we'll see how the format is and how to prepare the cash book. We'll work out one exercise, question exercise or practical problems which is given at the end of the chapter. We'll discuss it so that you will get an idea how the cash book to be prepared. Yes, practical problem, that is page number 10.37. Practical problem number 1. Did you see the heading there? Single column, or it is also known as simple cash book. When I wrote the heading also, I had divided into two, the cash book, single and double. So now what we are going to write is single column cash book, or it is also known as simple cash book. You give the main heading single column cash book, single column cash book, or this is also known as simple cash book. So just like the name indicates, we need only one column. One column means only one amount column, and the format is just like your ledger. We need to have a debit side and a credit side. This is the main heading which you can write for this section, and for the cash book you give the heading. Once again you give the heading single column cash book, or you can write simple cash book, anyone. Underline the heading. Debit and credit sides we wrote. Then the format is, there is date column, particulars column, there is a new column, that is voucher number column. Then we have, it's not JF column, it is LF column what we are having. I'll explain all these. Date column you know, particulars also it's familiar to you. Okay, voucher number, I'll tell you what it is. Then we have an LF column, then one amount column on the debit side, similarly one amount column on the credit side. The same will appear on the credit side also. So the format is very much similar to a ledger, but there is a slight difference. LF then amount. Okay, so this is the format of cash book. Understood? The difference between the cash book and ledger is, first of all, cash book is journal itself. It's a subsidiary book of journal, whereas ledger means it is not journal. It is another book. It is also known as book of final entry or principal book of accounts, where we are doing classification. This is just journal, but the format is like ledger. So the difference is, we don't have ledger, we don't have voucher number in ledger. Here we need to have voucher number, but when we do problems in certain questions in the textbook, in your textbook, they haven't drawn voucher number. So there is no problem even if you forget to draw this column, because nothing will be written in this column. Voucher number means, voucher means the receipts or bills which we are getting when you purchase or when you sell goods. You have discussed, you have learned this voucher documents or vouchers in the portion verifiable objective concept. There should be always supporting documents for a transaction. These supporting documents are called vouchers or receipts, and those receipt number or bill number will be entered in this column. In the real situation, Now when we do problems, this will be a blank column. Again, LF column is there. Now when we prepared ledger, we had columns like date, particulars, then we did journal folio column, isn't it? When we prepared ledger, we drew LF column, and when we prepared journal, we did LF column. It was the reverse. Understood? Did I say the reverse itself? It's the reverse to have to take. Journal means LF and ledger means JF you have to take. I don't know whether I said the same thing in the first. Okay, it's the reverse you have to take. But in cash book, you have written LF. Why? Because cash book is a subsidiary book of journal, and in journal you have to write the reverse, that is LF. Understood? So here also we have taken the reverse itself. Since it is a subsidiary book of journal, you must write LF. Then we have one amount column. Since it is single column, we have only one amount column. Then the same columns you have to draw on the credit side. That is date, particulars, voucher number, LF and amount. Voucher number, if you want, you can exclude, but since it is the first question, you write it. Okay, so this is the format. Next, what we have to do, just like you prepare the ledger, you can do this cash book. Read the first transaction. We are not going to write any journal entry. Direct posting will be doing. So you must be thorough with the entries first of all. It's January 1st. Ripinder started business with capital. Ripinder is the owner of your firm. He started business with 2 lakhs. So what's the entry? It is cash account, debtor to capital account. And the posting will be done on the debit side. Write the date. It is 2020. Jan 1st to capital account. So direct posting we are doing just like ledger, but you can't look into the journal entry because we don't have any entries. Direct posting you must do. 2 lakhs. Voucher number and LF will be blank. Then the next one, purchase furniture for cash. Think of the entry first. It is furniture account, debtor to cash account. We are preparing cash book, or you can just read this cash book like a cash account. Basically, it is not a ledger, but the preparation is like a cash account. So, to cash you are writing, that means it must be written on the credit side. What will be the posting? Buy furniture. Furniture is what we are purchasing. Understood? So, treat this book just like a cash account. So, it is buy furniture, that is the posting, by furniture account. It is on Jan 2nd, 50,000 is the amount. Then we have purchase goods for cash. What is the journal entry? Purchases account, debtor to cash account. So you have to think what is happening to your cash account, because we are preparing cash book. Cash is getting credited again. So buy purchases account. It is on Jan 3rd, 30,000. Then the next one, paid freight 500. Okay, freight means it is the shipping charges which we are paying. So the entry is freight account debtor. It's the expense note. So expense must be debited. So freight account debtor. What is moving out? We are paying means to cash you must write. So again the posting on the credit side, Jan 5. You write by freight account, the amount is 500. The next one, sold goods for cash. What is the entry? You are getting cash. So cash account, debtor to sales account. See, we are not writing entry, direct posting you are doing. So you must be thorough with the journal entries. Then only you can do direct posting. Then only you can prepare cash book. So cash account debtor to sales means posting on the debit side. It is Jan 7th. 2 sales account. Amount is 28,000. Then next one, paid to Ramesh. So it is Ramesh's account, debted to, what is paid? Cash. So again cash is getting credited. It is on Jan 10th. Jan 10th you write by Ramesh. The amount is 20,000. Then, so all goods for cash, again the same thing. So cash account debted to sales account. Again the same thing means you have to repeat it because the transaction date is different. Jan 15th. And the amount is 10,000. Then paid wages, so wages account debted to cash. Always think of the entry first, then think of what is happening to the cash account. So again cash is getting credited here. So by wages. It's on Jan 20th. $10,000, yes. The next one is purchase goods from Raj on credit. Will you record credit transactions in cash book? No, you can't. Credit purchases must be recorded in purchases book. So that transaction you should ignore. You can't record it in cash book. That you must remember. Usually students will make mistakes in these transactions. Credit transaction also, they will post it. So you must be very careful. If it is credit transaction, don't post it in cash book. You must ignore that. Then the last one, paid rent by check. What is the journal entry for that? It is rent account debtor to, it is check you are paying. You must write to bank account. Can we record that transaction in cash book? No. Cash book is a substitute for, or cash book you can say that it is just like cash account. And we know that cash account and bank account both are separate accounts. So here rent account debted to bank account means if it was the bank account you are doing, you can post it. Since it is the cash book or this is just like cash account, you can't post this transaction in cash book. But in the meaning you remember, what was the meaning we discussed for cash book? That it records both cash and bank transactions. Meaning is, if there is a transaction like withdrew cash from bank. Withdrew cash from bank, cash account debted to bank will be the journal entry. This entry or this transaction can be posted in cash book because cash is there. I mean cash is debited here. So on the debit side you can write to bank account. Understood? So transactions that involve both cash and bank accounts can be recorded in cash account. But if it is simply bank account like in this entry, like rent account debted to bank account, you can't record the transaction in cash book. So now the cash book is over. Just like you prepare the ledger, what is the next step? You must compute the balancing figure. Add the debits, add the credits, compute the balancing figure. Understood? Then you must write balance carried down and balance brought down as usual. So that step you can do, there is no change. Carry down and brought down, you must write and complete this cash book.